second graders, it's me, Miss Hickman. I have an awesome reading lesson for you guys today. We are going to be looking at illustrations and words, and we're going to be figuring out how they're connected. I hope you're ready. Get your thinking caps on because your reading lesson starts in 10 seconds. Today, we are going to be using illustrations and words of a text. When we look at the illustrations and the words together, it can help us better understand the characters, the setting, and the plot of a story. Think about your reading lessons. Characters are who the story is about. Setting is where the story is taking place. And plot is what is happening in the story. We want to pick out those important events. When we're looking at the illustrations and the words, we want to ask ourselves the following questions. How can we use illustrations to better help us understand the characters, the setting, and the plot? How can we use the words in the text to better help us understand the characters, setting, and plot? What information and evidence can we pull from the illustrations as well as the words of a text as readers? Remember, we can't just identify the story elements. We have to show that we understand them. Don't think about how the words and illustrations are different. Think about how they help. Now we are going to be reading a story about Miss Hickman. When we are reading the story, make sure you're looking at the illustrations as well as the words. When we're reading, see if you can identify the characters, the setting, and the plot. We want to use both the illustrations and the words to help us get this information. Now, let's read a story about Miss Hickman. Miss Hickman needed to wear glasses, but she didn't like the way she looked. She always took them off as soon as she got to school. When she didn't wear her glasses, everything seemed to go wrong. Miss Hickman read the wrong words during the reading lesson. When her students asked her for help tying their shoes, she couldn't see the strings. One day, she put salt instead of sugar in her coffee. Miss Hickman had enough. Finally, Miss Hickman decided to put on her glasses. "Wow," said one of her students. "I wish I had glasses like you." Miss Hickman smiled and never took off her glasses again. Let's answer some questions together. How do the words on page 1 help you understand the setting of the story? Setting. That's where a story is taking place. Let's reread page 1 and see if we can find any words that would help us understand where this story is taking place. Miss Hickman needed to wear glasses, but she didn't like the way she looked. She always took them off as soon as she got to school. When she didn't wear her glasses, everything seemed to go wrong. Miss Hickman read the wrong words during the reading lesson. Now, do you see any words that would help me find the setting of the story? I do too. On page 1, it says, she always took them off as soon as she got to school. School! That's where this story is taking place. Let's keep reading and see if we can find any other information that would help us understand the setting. Miss Hickman read the wrong words during the reading lesson. Where do you do reading lessons? At school. So now I understand that the story is taking place at school. Let's read our answer choices and see if we can find the correct answer. A. The words help me understand the setting of the story is at school. Hey, that matches what we found in our story. Let's keep reading to make sure, but A seems like the right answer. B. The words help me understand that the setting of the story is at Miss Hickman's house. There's nothing in the story that would tell us that the story's taking place at Miss Hickman's house. So far, A seems like the right answer. Let's keep reading to make sure. C, the words help me understand that the setting of the story is in an office. Again, there's no words in the story that would tell me that the story is taking place in an office. So, A is the correct answer. The words help me understand that the setting of the story is at school. Let's try another one together. What does the illustration and the words on page 3 tell you about how Miss Hickman is feeling? This time, we have to look at the words and the illustration to answer our question. Let's read the words first, and then we'll look at the illustration. One day, she put salt instead of sugar in her coffee. Miss Hickman had enough. Finally, Miss Hickman decided to put on her glasses. What information can you find in the words that would help us figure out how Miss Hickman is feeling? If I look at the words, I see that Miss Hickman had enough. What details from the illustration can you see that would help us figure out how Miss Hickman is feeling? When I go back to my illustration, I see her hands on her head and she's frowning. Now, let's read our answer choices and see if we can find how Miss Hickman is feeling. A, she feels worried. B, she feels fed up. C, she feels happy. D, she feels excited. What do you think the best answer choice is? A, B, C, or D? Let's check and see if we got the same answers. The words and the illustration show me that Miss Hickman feels fed up. She feels fed up or tired of everything going wrong because she's not wearing her glasses. Now it's your turn. You will have 2 minutes to answer the following question. What does the illustration and the words on page 4 tell you about the plot of the story? You will have to reread the words and pay close attention to the picture. Make sure you read all your answer choices before picking the correct answer. You can go ahead and get started. have 10 seconds left. Time's up. Now let's go over your answer. If you chose D as your answer, then you are correct. Great thinking. Wow, I'm so impressed. Thanks for learning with me today. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next video.
Stack is an application used to track independent reading time and help build a culture of reading in school and at home. In this video, you will see where to find Beanstack, how to navigate through it, and how to log your minutes. Beanstack can be found on your Launchpad. Once you click on the Beanstack icon, you'll be taken to your Beanstack page. Begin by clicking on your name to open your reader profile. Here you can find our current programs or challenges. To start, click on the challenge, and once you've opened a challenge, you'll be able to see the minutes you have logged so far during that challenge. In order to gain badges, you must log your minutes. So go ahead and click on the log reading to begin recording your minutes. The log will open and you can fill it out with the date, minutes read, book title, and author. Sometimes the title and author may pop up when you begin typing and you can click it. If not, that is okay. You may want to include a review, but that is optional. Once you filled out the form and logged your minutes, click the log button to save it and a message at the bottom will appear. Sometimes a badge will pop up if you earned one by reading a certain amount of minutes. You can exit the log once you've logged your minutes by clicking the X button on the top right. You can view all of your badges for that challenge and the badges you've earned in the Logging Badges tab. If you'd like to only see the badges you've earned, you can click on the Earned Badges tab. By clicking on the Program Log tab, you can view all the books you've logged and your time spent on each of them. If you'd like to go back and write a review about a book, click on the Write a Review button at the top left. Fill out the form about the book. It does not have to be long, but give some feedback on what you may have liked and try not to put any spoilers in there. Be sure to click Save once you are done. You can click the X to exit out of the review page. To see an overview of all of your reviews, badges, and reading logs, use the top right navigation tabs. This will show you the programs or challenges you're currently in, the reviews you previously wrote, badges you have earned, and books you have read. It will also let you know your total minutes read. So be sure to log your minutes in Beanstack for a chance to earn prizes. And continue to read because, as Dr. Seuss said, the more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you will go.
Hey, second graders, thanks for tuning in again. We have a very fun and exciting math lesson for you guys today. We are looking at word problems. We are going to be solving a math word problem together. Make sure you have your thinking caps and a pencil and paper. Your math lesson is loading in 10 seconds. Solving math word problems can be fun, but sometimes they can be a challenge. In order to help us solve word problems, we are going to read the problem 3 times. The first time we read the problem, we are reading for the gist. That's the general information that is found in the problem. Once you read and find the gist, we're asking ourselves, what is the problem asking? We have to answer that question before we move on to our second read. During our second read, all the way through the problem, we're asking what information from the problem you will use. Once we find out the information we are going to need for the problem, we move on to our third and final read. During our third read, we need to answer the question, how will we use that information to help us solve? Reading the problem 3 times will give us a better understanding of what the problem's asking and will give us a better picture of how we can solve the problem correctly. Let's try to solve a word problem together. Are you ready? During our first read of our problem, remember, we're reading for the gist. That's the general information in the problem. Make sure you understand what is going on in this problem. After you find the gist, you're going to answer the question, what is the problem asking? Let's get started. It's Thanksgiving and Miss Hickman wants to make dessert. She plans to make cookies with chocolate candies. She counts out 32 chocolate candies and puts them in a bowl. She turns away to get the cookie dough. When she comes back, some of the candies are missing. Her children ate 11 of the candies. How many chocolate candies are left for Miss Hickman's dessert? Have any of you done this? Have you snuck candy when your parents weren't looking? Let's get the gist. The gist of this problem is that Miss Hickman is making dessert. She needs chocolate candies for her dessert, so she counts some out. After she counts some out, her children take some and eat them. So now some of the candies are missing. What is the problem asking us? The problem is asking us how many chocolate candies are left for Miss Hickman's dessert. It's time for our second read. We are going to read this problem again all the way through. This time, we want to find an answer to this question. What information from the problem will you use? Let's read it again. It's Thanksgiving and Miss Hickman wants to make dessert. She plans to make cookies with chocolate candies. She counts out 32 chocolate candies and puts them in a bowl. She turns away to get the cookie dough. When she comes back, some of her candies are missing. Her children ate 11 of the chocolate candies. How many chocolate candies are left for Miss Hickman's dessert? Let's see what information we will need for our problem. Miss Hickman counts out 32 chocolate candies. That is information that we are going to need for our problem. Do you see some more information that we're going to need? I do too. 11 chocolate candies. That's how many candies her children ate. Those 2 pieces of information are very important, and it's going to help us solve our problem. Let's go on to our third and final read. This time, you are going to read the problem all the way through by yourself. After you read the problem, you are going to tell me what information we are going to use to help us solve. Can you find what operation we are going to do? Go ahead and read the problem. Figure out what operation we are going to use to solve this problem. It's time to check your answer and see how you did. What operation do you think we are using to solve this problem? If you answered subtraction, then you are correct. Awesome thinking. It's time to make a model of our problem. You make a model on your paper while I make one on the screen. Now let's take a closer look at our model. With my model, I have 32 candies. In the word problem, it said that Miss Hickman's children ate 11 candies. So let's cross off 11 candies. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This represents my problem. I had 32 candies. My children ate 11. My job now is to figure out how many candies I have left. It's time to solve the problem. How many candies does Miss Hickman have left? 32 minus 11 equals what? You will have 2 minutes to solve the problem. Make sure you do your work in your notebook. Go ahead and get started. Ten more seconds to get your answer. Time's up. Let's see how you did. If your answer was 21, then you are correct. "32 minus 11 equals 21. Thank you all for another wonderful lesson. I'll see you guys next video.